Hey y'all, it's me again, Joey.
Well, ready to let them loose?
Yep, that's it. Let's see if they make us run.
Oh,
Probably so.
yeah, that one tried to get after him, but other than that, what can you expect? I mean, can you blame them? Oh yeah, they're getting after us now. Go, Joey, go!
Hey man!
They're mad, buddy. I'm gonna get in the truck. You gotta go back and get your camera.
But also, just get as many as you can off the one next to it. Get out.
You gotta move forward.
Do that side again. Y'all ready? Let's get started. Hello, Mr. JW. How you doing?
Good evening, sir. I'm doing great, thank you. A little tired. I've been in the bee yard all day. That yard back behind me there. I
Yeah.
broke all them down today.
We'll say hello to everybody over in the chat area over here. Look like a bunch of them coming in.
Mr. Russell, how you doing, Southern Russell?
Let's see who we got.
Wiley?
Jack Dene, Russell Amon, Alan Honey, No Life, Beekeeper James Noel, DC, Keith Spielman, Roy, Tiny Creek, Philip, Peter Morris, Jonathan Stevens, Clay Bonner. Who else we got? Who come in while I was reading? Anybody? Mark Miller. Hope everybody's doing good. I am tired. I've been playing too much with my tractor. I got new implements and stuff on that thing, and it has about killed me. My wife finally come out there and made me come eat.
Well, I'm tired also, but for different reasons.
Yeah. Let me unmark some of these now.
Very much so. Hey, Pete.
Has anybody seen, how many's in the chat? I'm going to ask it now too. Has anybody seen Icy Mountain Honey? Sandy, Icy Mountain Honey? Lately? Hey, Bryce.
No. Same way with Steve Amos. I've never heard of anything on him. You know.
Well, the night we said that, the next day I saw him and somebody had posted some pictures. Hey, Gunline, bees. But she sent me a smoker, and I wanted to thank her for it and everything, but I hadn't seen them since I got it.
Okay.
And so I don't know. I don't know what happened with that. I know they're usually on Charlie's most of the time, and I was going to try to get on Charlie's last night, talk a little bit, and I got so tired. I turned it on, and they started, and I said, if I get on here, I'm going to fall asleep. So I just turned it back off. Anybody know the LSU and Ole Miss score?
I didn't know anybody cared but you.
I tell you what, now, I used to kind of keep up with it when my family visited on the weekends, and we'd all sit in the living room and watch ball games. I'd enjoy that. Same way with NASCAR. But I'm not going to sit in there by myself and keep up with a ball game. TV. But we went to that LSU game last weekend. I'm going to tell my age here. The last LSU ball game I went to was in the 70s. probably around 75 or 76. When I was in FFA, every year we'd collect up enough money that all us in FFA and the teacher would load up on a bus and go to LSU Alabama game. That turned into a tradition. One year we made enough money to even take home economic class. That was wild.
Russell said Ole Miss won 19-24. They're 24-19.
Yeah, they need to tighten up then. And man, we was up in the nosebleed section. I used to hear people say that I thought they were saying cheap seats. They wasn't really cheap seats, but they were steep seats.
Yeah, steep.
You start going up like this, and then you go up like you're climbing a ladder.
Yeah, I'm about like you. Last game I was living down there in Florida, and Bobby Bowman and Florida State had all those good teams. I went a couple of times. That's the last time I've been to a college football game.
Yeah.
So, a day or two too.
I enjoyed it. We did. I didn't get to spend much time with the grandson. They kind of got thrown off on different things than what we were going to, and some of them that they had planned to do, they didn't get to do that. It just kind of got all out of whack, but we did get to see them a little bit. Steep seats for $400. That was for Georgia and good gracious, Bama.
No, it's getting crazy. These, the prices for these tickets to these sporting events. This pro stuff, I don't even turn it on anymore.
I hadn't watched a pro ball game in probably 5 years.
Yeah, I haven't since they started that Nealon's crap. So
yeah.
I haven't been back. I think a lot of folks quit them on that account.
I do have the link posted if anybody wants to come in and talk crazy with us. I guess it posted.
Yeah, you may be watching both of us asleep here if you don't come in and help us.
Yeah.
Yes. Business partner. Co-owner of Irwin and Sons. I don't know. You could tell him I got enough worth the Sons without taking him on. They'd be proud of me for saying something like that.
Yeah. I'm usually drinking Pepsi. I got Coca-Cola this time.
Yeah, well, you'll be kicked off the Pepsi wagon.
Yeah, those bees the little video I did this morning. I was real proud of the hive that was on the left there this year, because that was the queen that I'd pulled out of that other box. And I pulled it down to like one frame of bees and stuck her in that box. And she made a comeback, and I just like a few of the other ones in the bee yard, when they'd build up a frame or two, I'd pull it, give it somewhere else, just make another one that I wanted to make good production hives out of. Come to find out, if those 3 or 4 that I did that to, if I'd have just kept adding equipment to them, they'd have probably made as much honey as anything else did. Because I got 2 boxes off of them. I think the timing just hadn't worked just right for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, my second pull on the honey did a lot better than the first, or I'd been in really bad shape. I was down a couple 300 pounds over last year total, but I come out 600 pounds or so better than I Thought it was going to.
Oh, he's been conference. Hey, Russell K.
Yeah. Northern Russell just popped in. Come on in here, buddy.
Yeah.
Good to have you. Eddie, we'll take you too, even though you are down there in them half Creole boys. You just half Creole, Eddie, or are you full Creole?
You couldn't figure it out, Eddie? First, you need to be on Google Chrome. Or at least Google, I guess.
If you get you come in on Facebook, it'll be on there. On it, Joey or Willett.
Here he is, right here. You gotta activate your camera and mic. They would need to connect their mic and camera before you can add them to the stream. You see that? Just kind of look at it. You'll figure it out. You almost had something there.
Where's he at, Michael? Arkansas, didn't you say last night? I understand he's in Arkansas. That must be your home conference, wouldn't it?
Hey, Matt.
Managed to get all that honey sold in Sandy today. I seen you out there on the street flagging cars in. That's illegal, you know. Have you in a hoosegow out there in Festus? Yeah, that's what I thought, Michael. I watched you last night.
I tried to watch a little bit of Tim and Hannah's while it was going on. There was so much noise at that ball game. They couldn't hear nothing. I wish I could tell him how to get in there. But in your settings there, you should see your mic and your camera. You'd have to click on them to activate them.
Well, if you're going to end up, I'll be talking about you like Todd. You get to coming on here and saying you got to leave to eat. You bad boy, bad boy.
Philip, I probably need to call you tomorrow or next couple of days. Might be coming up your way shortly, close enough to stop by.
He's north of Dallas about, I don't know, I'd say 40 miles. I might be off on the mileage, but I think that's pretty close by straight north of Dallas. Hey Tim, hey Hannah, how you folks?
Tim, what night y'all gonna be doing the other little deal? Is it gonna be Saturday or Sunday?
I got to get my cream tiny in too. I forgot to do that. Come to think of it, I've got probably some of the best in the world ever knew about.
Hmm.
And the world would have to go without it unless I get it sent down there to Gunline. I'm gonna knock Northern Russell off some of them guys, them experts, him and Zabata. I'm gonna knock them off for purchase. Cream County guys, I got that stuff down to fine science now. I'm gonna have to get my email in action. Saturday.
There he is. I'm gonna knock.
Oh, you made it.
I'm gonna kick the other one out you got in there.
I didn't know I had another one in there.
Let's see what happens when I kick that one out. There we go.
I tried to do it on my phone first, and that did not work. So I had to get the laptop out.
Oh, there's an app to do it on your phone, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to go to put the YouTube app on your phone. Have you got the YouTube app on your phone?
I usually watch all these things on my television.
Well,
I have my phone in the chat part.
Yeah.
I don't use my computer for that much. I'm very technologically disabled.
Well, you're here now.
Yeah. I had my first drone layer today, or yesterday, actually. Like, I've had plenty of laying workers, but this is the first time I've had actually drone laying queen. Just ran out of sperm or something.
Yep, I've had that happen.
And I went through that hive twice, 20 frames, 2 times. Could not find her. I wanted to pinch her. I was going to drop a nuke into it, but I couldn't find her for anything. So I just dropped a nuke into it and hoping for the best.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't used it in years. I've got an old box with a plastic excluder stapled to the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my swarm catching box. When I'm not swarm catching, that's my queen catcher. When I can't find her, I've actually found one. I was trying to get her that had cells already coming open, emerging. So I got to shaking everything through there. What you do is just set everything to the side, set a new box up, and shake one frame at a time through that box with the excluder, and then put that brood down in the bottom.
Yeah, I've done some similar.
It'll all go down. I ended up catching the mated queen and like 5 or 6 virgins doing that.
Okay. I had
but
a
in
queen.
Your case, you got one queen you got to get.
Yeah, I had a queen that fit through a clip yesterday too. And she was small.
Good at that.
She kept getting out. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? And I one time watched her go right through the little grooves. It wasn't even the opening. It was one of the slits.
Yeah.
I've had that happen. I've actually had young queens go up above the excluder, lay around the eggs, and get back down in the bottom somehow.
Mm-hmm.
How are your mites looking, Joey?
I don't know. I guess the ones that can't see good, they probably put glasses on.
You don't do washes?
No.
My numbers are higher this year than last year. It's got me kind of discouraged a little bit. We're doing
It'd probably scare me if I knew how many they had.
We got the Harbo assays with Dr. Rankovich coming up on Tuesday. And last year I had a whole lot more zeros than I have this year. I still got a lot of like 2s and 3s, but I don't have a whole lot of zeros anymore. So I'm hoping that they're still okay. So I'm really hoping to do queens this next year or do more of them.
Are you still keeping a lot of records like they were wanting?
Yeah.
On everything.
I just do it on the lid, and then the ones that I bring, I just transfer that information down a piece of paper. I don't bring them the records on all the hives, just whichever ones I'm going to bring. I don't. And last year I brought them and they didn't ask for them. But Kent had said that he wants to get more of the records this year. I guess he's got to justify the program.
Yeah.
I don't like doing mite washes. Like it wasn't as bad last year, but now that I got like 90 something colonies, it's not fun.
You do every one, do you, Eddie?
What's that?
You try to do every colony, do you?
Yeah. The first round I'll do every colony.
Yeah.
And then a lot of them get knocked out of the program because they need treatments. Yeah. So the ones I treated, I don't do again. I just treat. And so the third round that we have to do, I mean, I only had to do probably about 40 something colonies. If I had 6 mites or higher, I knocked them out of the program.
Yeah, he's using some of those. You got yours from Baton Rouge too?
Yeah.
He's using some of those queens from Baton Rouge.
Yeah, Kent and I both have some of the breeders from the Bee Lab, and they give us a bunch of cells each year too. They never seem to give us what they say they're going to give us. Like at the beginning, they said we could use as many as we wanted, and then when we
just imagine if everybody in our club wanted them.
Yeah,
I'd put everybody getting 1 or 2.
Well, we got, I don't know, probably got 150 last year or something like that from them. But originally, he said give you as many as you want, and each time we've asked, we've never gotten exactly what we were hoping to get. I'm in Southeast Louisiana. I'm about an hour south of Joey. That's right. Amanda was about an hour south of you, huh, Joey?
Yeah, it depends on the traffic. Sometimes it could be quicker. But with the traffic and everything, it's about an hour.
Yeah, I know it takes me about 45 minutes to get back from the club meetings there in Franklinton, but there's no traffic when I'm coming back at like 9 o'clock at night.
Hey, Lisa. Lisa, you need. I guess you're in that Nobby. Bring up some of that cherry amaretto jelly. I want a couple jars of it again this year. I'm out. You get my message.
You do creamed honey, Eddie?
I do, and I can't make it fast enough. Like I'm contemplating buying a creamer probably next year. I'm doing it by hand in small batches, and I'm probably doing it the hardest way possible. Like I'm infusing it with vanilla beans for a month in the warmer, and I'm doing cinnamon now too. When the first batch of vanilla I did, I made 60 jars, and in 2 days I was out.
See, if I could sell it like that, I'd have one. I'd have a creamer.
Yeah.
I don't have a market around me for it.
How you stirring it? You got a KitchenAid or something?
No, I'm a drill with a
oh really?
Plastic paddle on it.
You just turn it ever so often?
I try to do it every hour. They say do it every hour for 48 hours, but I can't do that. I'll do it 6 or 7 times when I first mix it, and I'll get up in the middle of the night, do it one time, and then the next morning I'll do it 3 or 4 times, and then I'll jar it, and I got a wine fridge that I put it in to chill it. It holds it right at 56 degrees. And it's usually set at the end of the second day after I put it in that fridge.
Yeah.
I've actually got a batch of plain on my coffee table right now. What's that?
I can't keep it either. I started making it, but I make it in just 5-pound batches, or actually about 8-pound batches at a time with a KitchenAid. But I can't keep it. If you make 2 or 3 different flavors, I get one, they get time you get another flavor made, well, they've got the other one gone. So
Yeah.
the
I tried
ladies
to
are
use
all
a
right.
mixer, and like I have a KitchenAid. It's not KitchenAid; it's a different brand, off-brand KitchenAid type mixer, and it put all kinds of bubbles in it real bad. And it was a really different consistency.
If you got a dough hook, that's what you want. You don't want anything with any that stirs it very much. Just the slowest
Yeah.
slow as you can
Yeah,
get it to turn, and
I
just
had the
one
dough
lot.
hook in it. It just seemed like it made a really different. I got like a big layer of foam, and so I couldn't. I figured I'd just let it sit and that would go away, but it never went away. And then I actually put the whole bowl in my warmer and figured I'd just melt it back down, and it still got 2 inches of this foam on top, and it's been in there
Huh.
for weeks. I don't know what the deal is with that. So I went back to the drill and the paddle.
You got to have a pretty low speed on that mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lowest speed it has seems like it was going a little bit too fast. That's probably what the problem
Yeah.
was.
The dough hook's what I use. I got another one, but I think it would beat it too much.
Yeah, I had somebody actually call me a couple of hours ago that I set up on the side of the road by my parents' house sometimes, and they bought some cream honey from me, and she called me asking for 10 more jars to actually bring it to me. And the first batch I made, that's happened. The first day I was selling it, sold to 5 or 6 people. All of them called me back and was like, "How much more you got?" And that's why I was out the second day. Everybody's like, "Give me 10 jars. Give me 10 jars."
Yeah, the women seem to really like it.
Yeah.
That's when you know you can go up on your price.
Well,
Maybe.
how you bottling or jarring yours? You using jelly jars? How you doing yours?
So mostly I'm selling these little bitty 6 ounces of creamed honey will fit in a 4-ounce jar.
Yeah.
And people will buy it for $6 all day long. And I can fit 11 and a half ounces in an 8-ounce jar. I didn't bottle near enough of those. But I'm selling out of the small jars, so I do half and half. The big ones will go first, and then the little ones. People buy the little ones, they say, for gifts. So, and then since I sold out so quick the first time, then the second batch came, people were all over it, and I had like a waiting list for the cinnamon I hadn't even done yet. I mean, it'll be done infusing in another week, and then I got to cream it. But it seems like a good thing around here.
Well, I sell them at 8-ounce jars I sell them for $12. The 8-ounce jars is what I get for them.
Okay.
Up here, I do like you do. I just got a farm market. They just come to my farm. I've got a feather flag down at the highway and a sign, and they come. I'm a mile and a half off the highway, and they just come and leave the money on an honor system and take the honey.
Me and Mike Berry both buy from JM Products.
Yeah, J&M. That's what where I get my stuff.
The jars Mike is getting is labeled 9-ounce jars. These are 8. It's actually labeled 8, and I guess they actually got these for honey jars, but it hold 8 ounces. That's what's in there.
Okay.
8
so
ounces.
I got 8 ounce by volume, and it'll hold 11 and a half ounces.
Yeah.
They call them their jelly jars, I think.
Yeah. But his look almost just like this, but mine's 8 ounces and his are labeled 9 ounces. I don't know. There's something a little bit different with them though.
They change where they get their glass constantly. It was all Arkansas glass last year with everything, but this year it's back and forth between Arkansas glass and some other brands, and the jars don't weigh the same. So when I put them on my bottler, sometimes the different brands sometimes have to reset it to get the right amount on there. So I got to pay attention. The Arkansas glass ones are a little bit heavier.
Nightly.
I use the 8-ounce jelly jars of the Mason wide lip wide lid mason jars. They're pretty expensive, but people seem to like them.
I like this little jar right here. Greg Dunn, I hadn't seen Greg Dunn in here. This is his jar he uses.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that's
you
about
can
the
see that
same
or
as
not.
mine, only it's I use the Masons. That's a wide mouth. That's a wide mouth
Yeah.
jar too. Yeah, it's a lot easier to get that cream tiny out of.
But if he's on here, I'm gonna show him it's empty. I need to bring it and get it refilled.
Y'all do hot honey?
I know a few people that do. Jeff Thomas that comes on here sometimes. They make hot honey.
That does really well for me too.
Yeah. He does a pretty good hot honey. He's actually got the pepper still in it.
Oh, yeah, I strain them off. I do the same thing with the vanilla and stuff. I just
He may do it both
mix
ways.
them every day for a month and then strain it off and bottle it.
He may do it both ways. I'm not sure.
I know Jerry Taylor down here. He just he mixes the red pepper flakes in and bottles it right away, and says people seem to like it. I think he also puts some ghost pepper or something like that in it to give it a little bit more of a kick. Mine's not super hot.
I don't think I need to bring, if I can remember it. Where's it at? I don't know if y'all see that up there or not. That one right there. That's a hot honey. I'm going to bring it to the club. When's our next meeting? November? If I can remember it, I'm going to bring it. It don't take but one drop to get them eyes watering. I'm telling you, it's hot.
Do we not have a meeting in October?
No, it's Fairmont.
Oh, I'm glad you said something. I'd have been there.
They should have mentioned
realized how I got there.
They should have mentioned it at the last meeting. They didn't.
I wasn't at the last meeting.
Oh, okay.
I had a lot going on, and then I heard it was Scott presenting, and he just presented at our meeting down here.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a long trip for me.
Yeah, November. Don't show up October. You won't get through town. There he is. In the mail.
Joey, how come you didn't want any of the B Lab queens?
Well, I didn't want to do all that testing and logging and everything that they originally asked for. If you remember, they wanted a lot of homework done, and they kind of backed off a lot of what they was asking. That was doing all the little tearing the cells open and everything.
Yeah, that's what we're doing on Tuesday.
And freezing them and all that kind of stuff. So I ain't doing it.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, Kent is doing he does most of the paperwork. Like everything's just under his name officially.
Yeah.
So he signed everything. But I say they do ask us to do the 3 washes on the ones that we bring. But that's it. And then we go do the Harbo assays with them. I think eventually they want us to do the Harbo assays by ourselves, but I don't see how they can use that for their study if they're not involved in doing it, you know?
Yep. Yeah. Grammy, what did you do? I'm gonna have to go turn Nightbot off if it keeps that up.
Jesus, right butt sucks. He will get Nightbotted, Lisa.
He don't know who he's messing with. He starts messing with Grammy.
Oh, he doesn't like emojis. Maybe not. I don't know.
So, Joey, did you hear? I think Kent brought it up. Were you at the last meeting?
No, I
Okay.
was gone.
So I have about 15 to 18 hives, my most southern yards that are having a lot of fermentation issues. And I hadn't figured out what to do about it. I know what not to do. In some of them, I went and scraped some of the caps off. Figured maybe they clean it up and fix it up. And the hives I did that to, they're not looking good. They're just not working. All the bees are there and they're just kind of there. All the other hives are working really hard. But I've got a lot of fermenting honey in frames. Have you ever had that kind of issue down here?
No, I hadn't.
I would suggest a possibility. Do you ever use the DFM powder?
Hey, Brad.
I have not.
I would suggest you try that. I'm not saying that for sure that it's work, but I'd suggest it. I'd suggest that that'll help you with the fermentation.
That's the strong microbial stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That's that white stuff I keep forgetting to put on mine.
I saw you put it on the videos today.
Yeah, I always have to go back and throw it on there afterward.
I don't usually give advice, but I'd suggest that I would try it. I wouldn't do the whole bunch. What do you think, Brad? You know anything about fermentation in the hive?
Fermentation in the hive?
Mm-hmm. These boys are down south now. You won't remember they're right on the.
You had that happen in a couple of hives last year too, didn't you, Eddie?
Yeah, I had like 3 hives last year it happened to, in same yards. 2 yards that are both. I mean, they're right off the lake. I mean,
now this when did this happen? Like what
it's
season?
Happening right now. I mean, I've got some of the hives, 10, 11 frames, all lots of fermentation.
Your relative humidity high?
Oh, it's like water down here.
I would assume it is, but I got to ask, right?
Yeah, he's further south than I am.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that, and then what's the nectar source?
Tallow mostly.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you were to grab some of that and refractometer it, I mean, what would you expect to see? Have you done that, or
in the 20s?
Yeah. It's not super high then.
Oh yeah.
It's like that's not bad because it starts out 80, right?
Yeah, but it's fermenting under the cap, and it's all blistering up.
Under the cap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, there's natural yeasts in the environment and in honey. So the only thing I can think is that you've just somehow got a high natural yeast count. And I think they can cap honey that's not ready.
Oh yeah, this happens a lot here. I mean, this year it was real wet.
It's probably what they're doing.
This is in the brood boxes.
Yep. Like the only time I see it is in the winter. If there's open feed going into winter, then sometimes if they don't consume that in a timely fashion, then that'll ferment. But that's the only time I see it. It's really bad for the bees.
Yeah, I mean, other than the super DFM, is there any other ideas of what to do for the bees?
Take it out.
Yeah, but it's also the brood is in the same frames.
Yeah, I hear you. That's the suggestion. Oh, just take it out. Yeah, right. Yeah, you can't reverse it.
No.
Right? You can't fix it. Now, see, I say, well, it's not good for the bees, because in my case, when it ferments over winter, my bees are sequestered. They don't cleanse, so I have to be very careful with their feed in the fall, what they're wintering on. Now, how bad is it for your bees? Because I assume that your bees are able to cleanse regularly.
Oh yeah,
pretty well all winter, right?
Yes.
So, is it killing your bees? Is it having a?
Don't really know. Like I said, last year I had 3 hives that did it, but this year it's more than 15. It's got me nervous, and I thought maybe I'd scrape some of the cappings off and see if they'd clean it up. And the hives I did that to as an experiment, I mean, I don't see dead bees, but they're not working. It's like they cleaned
Yeah.
it up and they're just all
Yeah.
lethargic in there. So
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do
Oh,
that
drunk.
again. Yeah, or hungover or something.
Still hungover bees. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know. Because I don't think they'll willingly rob out fermented feed. You know, if it's fermented, I don't think they'll tend to take to it. That's a good one. Put it. I don't know how long do you have to solve the problem? Put it above an excluder and get rid of the brood, and then take it out. I don't know.
I might end up having to do something like that.
You know.
I'm gonna have to turn this Nightbot off. It's driving everybody crazy.
Yeah, some of them's asking for it. Matt just put up a bunch of jillion emojis on
Oh,
his
I see.
How to teach you, Ram's bottom, be a smart aleck. They'll get to treating you like me. They'll have you barred. Enjoy.
So, Joey, you never figured out what was killing those bees?
No, I have no idea. Like I was telling Mr. JW, I think before we went live, there was a truck spraying the edge sides of the roads. Of course, that was for killing plants, but just a week or so before that. But I've got bees closer to the highway than that. Didn't have any issue.
It's just a defoliant. I don't think will bother the bees. Joey, that's my thinking on it.
That's what I've always heard.
Power lines, etc. I don't. I'd say that bunch of bees.
I wouldn't. I'm kind of with you, JW. I wouldn't expect a defoliant or even a herbicide.
Yeah.
To do something like that, but because particularly bees, whenever any of those products are approved, like there's a specific test and category for how does this affect bees. You know, every one of those has a line on the label or in the testing and the approval process. Bees, right? It's not just insects, it's bees, and they know what the effect is on bees. Usually, from what I've observed, if a chemical like that is going to kill things that it shouldn't, it's because it's being misused.
Yeah.
I've got I'm right in the middle of the heart of everything they spray for. They spray the fence rows underneath the power lines and all the farmers spray, herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, ever nature. And I'm going to say that it's not Joey gotten some poison someplace. When I get poison, it usually doesn't get the whole hive, Joey. It'll get the bees that forage
the flying bees.
That area. They don't all forage in the same place necessarily. So that's what I'm going to suggest that it probably was, but I could be wrong. I'm no expert.
Did you notice the population in the hive decrease? Noticeably? Yeah.
Yeah. They were both very crowded.
When you showed and you say, they're crawling way out here, I was like, wow, that's 20, 30 feet from the hive.
Yeah, they was crawling all over the place. That's what kind of shocked me because, when bees abscond the hive, they usually almost look like a swarm piled up outside.
Yeah.
But these, they were just going everywhere.
Everywhere.
They were very sick and just getting out of the hive. For the others, I was going to suggest. I'd say it was poison of some kind. I don't know where you got it, but I've had a lot of hives. Just part of them bees succumb to the poison.
It wasn't fermented feed.
I haven't had one so far. I didn't hear you, Brad. I was talking.
Sorry, buddy. I was just saying it wasn't fermented feed, perhaps.
No, I don't think so. But it's. I'm going to resuggest that I would try the DFM. I wouldn't buy a 50-pound bag of it if I were you, but I'd sure try some. If you got a friend or something, somebody that's got some, I think you'll find it might help you some.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah.
I might order some tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody down here who really uses it.
It's not going to hurt.
Yeah.
Well, we'll hurt your wallet a little bit, but that's as bad as it'll be. You know.
That's what I thought I would want to buy a 50-pound bag of it to see if it's going to work. But I would suggest that there's a good possibility it might.
What is it exactly?
It's a mixture of enzymes. All an enzyme is, and if I can explain it in layman's term, Brad's better at that, is something that helps reaction. If you understand what I'm saying, an enzyme is an
Isn't an enzyme a protein?
Helping agent, that's all I can tell you. But it'll help the bees accept that honey that's
a probiotic
Yeah.
is what gut bacteria eats.
Well, yeah,
No,
but
a prebiotic is what gut bacteria eats.
Yeah.
A probiotic is the gut bacteria. Right? So that's what they're supposed to be feeding in there. Apparently they dry it or something to.
Now, Mark Miller, I don't know if you noticed his poster, Eddie. And,
I noticed he came in.
He's in Tennessee, and he's old school like me. And Mark suggested that possibly hive beetle infestation will cause fermentation sometimes.
Yeah, I've got a lot of hive beetles in some of the hives, but strangely enough, the ones that have the fermentation problems don't seem to have very many hive beetles. Because the first one I went to, that was the first thing I thought, because it has that same smell, like I guess when you get a slime out, it kind of has that fermentation smell a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one I was going to, I'm like, oh crud, this one's in trouble. And when I opened it up, I didn't see any beetles, but it's all the cappings all blistered up and stuff. And I broke a little bit and all full of bubbles,
Wow.
But I got beetles bad in some of my hives this year.
That's the way mine is. Seems like some of them don't have but just one or two crawling around in it, and some of them have 100 in them.
Yeah. I got a drone yard at a horse farm about a mile away from our main yard, and 4 of the hives there, a few hive beetles. I went to crack the lid on the last one, and when I cracked it, before I even had the lid off, it was like black water flowing out of the corner of hives. I mean, hundreds of them, maybe even thousands. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like, there's no way these are going to make it. But they did have them all corralled up in the top. And when I cracked that lid, I mean, it just came pouring out. But other 4 hives were right there, just a handful of beetles. Don't really understand that. And they looked strong. I mean, I guess they were strong enough to keep them corralled up the top like that.
I won't put this out for public information, but if you hang around when we go off the air for a little bit, Eddie, I'll give you an old school deal too that you might try. But I'm not going to put it out there. People think I'm crazy or the bad bug.
Okay.
More than we do now?
It's something that you probably got on hand.
TW? More than we do now?
Yeah, whatever.
How much worse could it be?
Well, you know what I tell you guys, you gotta flaunt it.
Stick to what you're best at.
That's one thing good about being old. You can get away with some of this stuff. When you're young, people want to slap you for it. They less laugh at you and say
Yeah.
you're senile when you get old.
Yeah, getting old is liberating in certain ways. I mean, the life sentence is a lot less meaningful, right?
Whatever. It's fun being old, I guess. I enjoy it. I don't fight it. I just go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens.
What's the alternative?
You
You know, we're all getting older.
you know what I've told you, young guys, compared to me, in the past, Brad. So we won't go there.
Night, Brian. Kathy.
My doctor told me something one time. He said, well, he was just, I forget what it was. He said something about, well, you get to have this because you're a big guy, right? And I looked at him and I said, really? I've been waiting all my life for somebody to tell me something like that. I said, the only other thing that being a big guy is good for is you're hard to kidnap. He said, yeah, I guess so. It'd take more than a guy or two to carry me off and get me in a van.
While I'm thinking about it, I asked this earlier before a bunch of people was on here. Has anybody seen Icy Mountain honey lately? I've been
Yes, I
waiting
have.
for them to come back on for about a month now and hadn't seen them. So
I'm not going to comment. I don't know.
I don't know who that is, so.
What's your weather? You ever get any rain, Brad? You still dry?
We got quite a bit of rain. It finally stopped raining, I don't know, last weekend or so. We got a lot of rain last weekend.
Okay.
But the weather has been pretty good this week, and it's said to be nice this week coming up, which is good. I got to finish feeding my bees, so need some nice days. Need some warm days so they can take all that feed down.
I just don't know how you got room in those boxes for feed with all those bees.
Isn't it? It's like putting a quart in a pint sealer, isn't it? Yeah, and I think the reason they slow down on it so much is exactly that. They got nowhere to put it. They just they'll all, get a stomach full, and then they'll stand and wait at one of the capped brood cells and wait for that bee to pop out, and then they pump it full of feed.
Let me ask you this, Brad. Do you feed every hive regardless of their...
Regardless of their... Well, the only ones I won't feed is if I detect that they're queenless, then I'm not going to bother with them.
You feed them all.
Feed them all.
You got such a short season to get them built up, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the thing with our season. So defined. It's so with the summer and winter is such a huge contrast.
Yeah.
The summer season is short. Everything is pretty laid out for us. Like, it's probably one of the easier climates to keep bees in, or to learn to keep bees in, because I listen to you guys talk and I learn so much from you. But I listen to you talk and there's so many options. Well, I'm going to split my bees, or I'm going to feed my bees, or I'm going to pull my honey, or I'm going to add supers or take supers. Well, that's not the way it works here. Like, everybody does exactly the same thing within 2 weeks, right? Everybody's pulling honey at the same time. Everybody is feeding their bees exactly the same time. Everybody's making their splits within the same 3-week period. You know, everybody's raising queens in the same 6 week period. Um, so it's it's very laid out for you. But then
Everybody's
again,
shoveling snow.
and everybody shoveling snow all winter. It's very laid out for you, and that's why it's so important, especially here, to have a mentor, because you've got to be ready for it. If it comes time to do some of these things and you don't do it, you don't get a chance. Like especially in the fall, right now. Like if you get late on your feeding, or you don't treat for bromites, or you know whatever you're going to do, uh, then uh, you know it gets too late. And if I don't feed, if I don't start feeding until the third week in October, well, I might as well not feed at all. When I put the bees in the shed, generally about the first week in November, put the bees in. So about another 4 or 5 weeks, 5 weeks or so. So I got to get another 2.5 gallons on these that you see here, and I have to get at it. I need to go down and get a little bit more sugar though.
Well, that's, what do you, they go through a gallon every other day, every 2 days? Or it's going to vary by hand or by hive. I realize that. But
Well, it does vary by hive, but it varies more by weather and timing. Again, like at the beginning, if I get my feed on, I should get my feed on very closely after Labor Day. And if I get my feed on then, uh, less than a week, that first 2.5 gallons will be gone. And then I can put a second 2.5 gallon pail on, and that could take a month to take that one down.
mm-hmm.
So they definitely get slower, and I think it's what we said. It's where you're going to put it. Like they have to wait for space, and boy, did they ever build a lot of comb in there on the top bars and whatnot. It's every square inch is filled with feed, and that's why it's fairly easy, you know, if you're observant, to know in the spring. If you open a colony in the spring, you know, you're looking through colonies at doing assessments, and if they're dead, you know, why did they die, sort of thing. It's really easy to tell if they starved, because if they didn't eat all of the syrup that was stored on the comb and the top bars, they didn't starve, because they're gonna eat that. So you can see right away without even pulling any frames to know if there's feed in the frames. You can see the syrup that they stored right on the top. It'll be empty. I don't see much starvation here at all. I might this year because I'm wintering singles outdoors, so pray for me.
So do you have any, is there any flow up there anymore? Is it done?
Well, hard to know. There's nothing of great consequence. There might be just a tiny bit coming in, but there's nothing that we would be able to, you know, put a honey super on to collect for sure.
But there's still stuff they can bring in for themselves.
Maybe we get a little bit of goldenrod. I actually walked out today out in this hayfield, and there was actually some sweet clover right over here. But I don't know if like in blossom, but I don't know if there's anything for the bees in it. I didn't walk over close enough to see if there are bees on it. Certainly nothing I can count on. I can't count on there being anything around this time of year. Yeah, so it's just treat. Get the oxalic acid on and make sure they're fed. I gotta do one more round of, I think I have to do one more round of pails on the nukes over here.
How do you put the oxalic acid on? Are you doing the dribble or pads or?
Oh, I do vapor. Yeah. Yeah, I do vapor. I've always done vapor. I've never done another method. So I don't really know anything about those methods, just from experience. I've never used them.
I'm considering trying the dribble, just so I don't have to put all that stuff on. I hate putting anything on while I work the bees. I just hate the respirator.
I know somebody who has done it, and she said she loved it. Now she's gone to vapor, so I don't know, but she said when she did it, she loved it because first of all, she didn't have to buy any equipment. She bought a big syringe. That was it, and she didn't have to dress up, respirator and stuff, and it's fast. She says lift the lid, squirt, squirt, on to the next one. So yeah, there's only what was I going to say? There's only two things I know about it, but I do know that they caution you that you can't do it twice.
Oh, I didn't know
It's
that.
it's a one because it's hard on the bees and it's hard on queens.
Oh, the dribble. Yeah, I'd suggest that might be right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's probably the thing that steers me away from it and toward vapor more because vapor is said to be almost benign to the bees.
Yeah. The other thing with the vapor down here, I mean, you probably go broodless up there, but we don't ever go broodless down here. So the vapor, I've got to do it 5 times is what.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes more than that.
yeah. I'm doing it on a well, I'm trying for a 4-day rotation. I was supposed to do my out yard today and I forgot, so I'll do it tomorrow. It'll be 5 days. But yeah, you're right. Oxalic acid is vapor is highly effective, but you've got to do that.
Yeah, I tried Apiguard this year for the first time, and I have mixed feelings about it. At first, I was real down on it because my main yard in Folsom, I feel like it just didn't do the job. I've talked to a buddy about it, and he said he had good luck with it. But I went and checked my yards that were farther down south, and I got zeros on all the washes that I did Apiguard in those yards, but not in my main yard, which I don't really understand what the deal is with that. But I thought Apiguard was gonna be a lot easier to use. That was why I was trying it, and I get it. It says if it's over 73 degrees to cut the dose in half. So now I'm doing 4 doses because we're never below 73 degrees for very long here.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting when I first purchased it to have to do 4 applications. I thought it was going to be a big time saver, but it really wasn't a big time saver.
I've never used that. Of course, it's not approved in Canada.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've only ever used Apivar, which I won't use anymore. Oxalic acid vapor, and just recently as in I started using it last year, like 13 months ago, I guess you'd say. I started using some formic acid. But again, what's registered for use, right? It doesn't mean it's going to hurt the bees. It's just a jurisdictional thing. Last year, I used formic acid on meat pads. Dry luck pads is what they're called. So you just soak the pad. It's an absorbent pad. Mm-hmm. Soak it in the liquid formic, and then put it on the top bars. This year, I got some Formic Pro in about the second week in August to kind of get a jump on killing some mites. But that's about the extent of my Formic experience. It's not very extensive.
I've heard lots of good things about it, but I don't think that we can use it down here because it's never cool enough for it. I mean, it's freaking hot.
I could see how it would be a problem for you. Yeah, because humidity has a big part to play too.
Yeah, and we're usually in the 80% humidity too.
Yeah.
The temperatures, I mean, today was a great day. We started out, still got almost a 90.
We had a cold spell this morning. It's 63.
Yeah, but it still got up to 90 degrees. Like 3:30.
It was beautiful warm here. It was 24 C. That'd be like barely much over 70 F.
Yeah, I was all excited about the cold front coming through today, but then it felt great this morning. But by 1, 2 o'clock, I was sweating like crazy.
Yeah, I don't like that fall means winter's coming, but I do like fall for working outside. It's so easy to work outside when it's, if I can talk in Fahrenheit, 65 degrees. It's just beautiful.
We don't have a lot of days like that at
Yeah,
all here.
yeah. But it goes from 65 to effing cold pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
pretty
know how
awful.
you deal with the cold you got up there. I lived in Chicago for just under 3 years, and the reason I didn't stay at 30 is I was not doing another winter there. I know you're way
Yeah.
worse than it was in Chicago.
Well, yeah. Chicago and Toronto are actually about the same latitude, but that's trivia. But Chicago would be typically more humid too than we have. Our winters are so very dry, and that makes a huge difference in tolerating the cold. I mean, it's still cold, but it's a big difference.
And the humidity makes you feel the temperature worse. And whether it's
Oh
hot
yeah,
or cold, it's always just worse.
yeah, yeah. Like here, if it's not windy, we talk about the magic 40 below, right? Because it's the same F and C, right? Um, if it's not windy, you could go out and t-shirt outside for, you know, 5-10 minutes without getting dreadfully cold. And because it's dry, when you come back indoors, you're warm again. It's not like come back indoors and you're chilled, right? Because you're not all damp and whatnot. You're freeze dried.
Yeah.
Yeah, the humidity is so bad here that like I have a hard time with the heat and the humidity, and I'll be working the bee yard and I'm feeling rough, and it's temperature doesn't have to be that high. It can be 85, 88, and I'll
Yeah.
go into my honey house where the humidity is really low because I got a dehumidifier in there, and it's just as hot in there, but I feel like I'm walking in an air conditioning because my sweat's starting to evaporate and it's cooling me. Now
Yeah.
after about 10 minutes, all the sweat evaporates and starts getting hot again.
Yep. Exactly. I used to like I run my honey house when I'm extracting. I run it at 30 C, which I don't know. Help me out. That's probably uh, uh, 70, 80. That's probably I don't know. It's over 80, 85 or something. F and I ran it for a couple of years like that before I bought a dehumidifier, and extracting in there. Oh, it was awful. Because it got so humid in there with all of the open honey and wash water and then I bought a really nice dehumidifier and that brought the humidity right down. I just target right at 50% and it's completely tolerable now, even at the same temperature. It's still warm, but
Yeah, down here, I can't live without a dehumidifier. Uh,
it,
I didn't start using one until about 10 years ago, but now I'm spoiled and I know how to get the humidity down indoors.
yeah,
And it's night and day difference.
yeah, yeah, it would be for me. I get pretty uncomfortable if it's humid like that.
JW, where are you located at? You're in Illinois, right?
Southern Illinois.
Southern Illinois.
I'm 30 miles from Indiana and about 50 miles from Kentucky,
Okay.
down the southeast corner. Actually, it's 20 from my main farm. It's 22 miles from my main farm to the Indiana, what's at the Wabash River. You know, that's the That's the state line in between Illinois and southern Indiana. So, and I go back and forth. I got some interest in Georgia too, so I've spent some time down there and lived in Florida for 18 years. So, but I'm a converted Yankee. I'm one of them damn Yankees, you know.
It's real humid in Florida too, but I was in Florida for about a year and a half in school, and it didn't bother me there. I feel like there was always a breeze.
There is if you're out along the coast. You get, you know, where'd you go to school at in Florida?
MMI, you know, it was in Orlando. I was living in Kissimmee.
Okay, yeah, you're going to get a breeze there from, you know, but you get inland up around Gainesville in that area, you can get pretty sultry, you know, so along the coast, you usually have a breeze. I always lived along the coast and I lived down there. So. Good night, Lisa.
We went Florida Keys 2010.
Yeah.
End of May. Memorial Day weekend. Oh man.
Not a good time.
We had to get out of there. We just about caught fire.
Yeah.
It was so hot. We stayed 2 days there,
Yeah.
and we got to get out of here. It's too hot.
Yeah,
It
that's
was nice
almost
to see.
the wrong time of year.
Yeah.
Keith, you want to watch those reject Yankees? They'll take advantage of you. Be careful.
Looking at my map when you were talking about Illinois.
Well, I'm about as far south of Chicago as you are north of it, Brad. I'm still in the state. Not quite as much, but awful close. If you went straight across the lake, boy, be pretty close.
Oh well.
It's 27 hours, but you guys from my place to your place.
Yeah.
Tell you. But you have to swing out. You have to go around Superior. You know, I can't fly across that. So.
No, you don't. From your place to no, you don't. You can go way west of Chicago even. Here, like we're kind of straight north of. We're actually straight north of Dallas.
Okay.
We're 100% dead north of Dallas.
No, I was across there pretty much when I came up your way. I used to cross there at International Falls, you know. So.
Oh, really? That
Yeah.
far east? Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I've crossed there. I go through the. What is that? A pulp mill? You go through the pulp mill?
I don't know what you're talking about there.
Oh, International Falls. No, I'm thinking of Fort Francis.
Okay, yeah, that's way west, yeah.
Yeah, International Falls.
Yes.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, y'all.
There's the second best dressed guy in the
Mark
county.
Miller.
You guys haven't noticed.
How's
you
everybody
noticed
doing tonight?
Huh?
How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
Doing good.
I was better, but got over it.
I hear you.
I like that.
What's
Who's
up, Mr.
better?
Miller?
I worked too hard
Did you
today,
get that?
JW.
Did you get that clover planted?
I got it done. I got up at break of day this morning and did about another acre. Got
You
it
want to mow
sold.
that now? Have you got something to kind of pack it with?
I tilled it with that little tiller and then sold it, and then I drug it with a homemade hair.
Well, that'll work too. If you
Yeah,
want something to cover just a hair dab if you can, and it'll do a lot better.
yeah.
Here I go. I'm giving out agricultural advice. I'm gonna have to start charging for it.
I need to slow mine down. I just can never get to it, and I don't have the right equipment.
I've been at it all day. I've done a lot of mowing, put a new door on the chicken house. I ain't done with that yet. At least I got it where the chickens to stay in.
I'll tell you, I'd love to have some chickens, but I've got so many varmints, I just can't keep them. I've tried guineas and everything else. Any kind of a fowl out there, them varmints will get them.
Yeah, we keep ours pinned up, JW. My wife don't let them out of the pen.
Yeah, dig in, you'd have to put a 2-foot footer around the pen. My place, the coons would dig underneath it and go and get them,
I
Coons,
used to like
bobcats,
turn mine loose in the evening.
weasels, mink. We got it all. You just can't raise them.
Somebody sneaking up on you, Brad.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I've been marching in and out from. Much was my dog. He's been aggravating this evening.
What are you doing? Oh, she's the sister of the one you usually see. He's right here. He's right here beside me, but you don't see her usually. My 19-year-old cats.
Huh.
They both deaf. They can't hardly hear a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I bet when you sneak up on them, they really do jump, don't they?
Oh, they do, because they can't hear you coming. You have to be careful.
I still ain't figured out what's wrong with that tractor, JW.
I'm sorry, I don't. That's kind of out of my bailiwick. Hydraulics can be a funny creature. I know that.
I'm telling you. I'm leaning toward it's inside that box of that joystick,
Mm-hmm.
and it's $1,100.
Yeah, I don't feel.
I
told you before you spend that, if you think that's what it is, stop there in Sykeston when you go through there. Somebody might have one of them. I'm telling you.
I think I'm gonna probably buy me a little hydraulic gauge. If I could get like an inline gauge that would hook up to where I could see what it's doing.
Hydraulic problems?
Yeah, Brad. I busted a hydraulic hose. It was a metal hose, and it was on my tilt, right? And I replaced the hose. Now the tilt still ain't working. And it's a self-purging system. You leave it running about 20 minutes, it should purge out of there. The air should. But I swapped the lines over. It's got four connections, right? These two run up and down. These two run the tilt. So I swapped the lines over. Okay, now the tilt work. So I know it's not the cylinders. Now the up and down don't work. So it's in that line. It's in them two lines somewhere, or the connection, or it's in the box. I don't know which.
It's pretty coincidental that you break a line and then there's something else wrong, though.
Right. Something
Because
busted the line,
that shouldn't cause, breaking a line doesn't
metal
really
line.
damage your system.
Right. But something busted the line. Right.
Something
I
busted.
originally thought he had a
Okay.
paper lock or an airlock in his line, you know, from when he put it back on. But he says it's
So that's a good point. That's the question. What broke the line?
Right.
Okay. So you're thinking what broke the line?
I
Might
don't
have
know.
taken something else out.
Don't know. That's why I want a pressure gauge to see what it's
He was using
doing.
that little tractor for a D9 cat, probably, Brad,
Yeah.
when he busted that line.
But don't we all?
Yeah. That's what I got it for, to use it, JW.
Yeah.
I was playing woodsman all day yesterday, cutting trees down and using my little tractor to pile them up. I got quite a pile there now.
Yeah.
Big pile of trees. 4 or 5 times the size of my tractor.
I tell you what, you don't know how much you miss it till it ain't working.
Oh,
Yeah.
that little guy is my right arm.
Yeah. Of course, I can still till. I done all that, but I can't use my bucket. Can't use my fork.
Well, then you didn't lose your right arm, you just lost your right hand, right? Can't use the bucket.
Yep. But I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I wish I had the answer for you, but I don't.
I'm not a mechanic by no means. I'm a truck driver. I let everybody else do my mechanic work for me.
You're a company driver.
Yeah.
Who's this?
No camera, no participate.
I have no idea. Now, Keith, that's more of my kind of problems. Mine isn't as simple as the hydraulic fitting. Mine's usually a blowing engine, or or a $15,000 computer. These new ones are all computer driven. Have that main box go out and see how much fun that is.
That's right. That's right.
I don't want to get into that.
I can tell you, I had one. The main box went out and it was 15,000, and they put a new one on. It wasn't no good. They did stand behind it, and it didn't cost me that. It didn't cost me 30. It only cost me 15.
Well, that's ridiculous. Didn't fix the problem.
You see this, Mark?
Unlock your line and run your joystick. Does oil squirt out? Yes, it did. And I've cracked the line to make sure that I got all the air purged out too. So yes, oil is coming out.
You got a definite blockage there someplace, but don't ask me where it's at. So.
Well, I want to go on the back side of the joystick and check the pressure there. Where it's coming out of the pump.
You mad?
Oh, you gonna come on and talk to us now that your mentors are on here, aren't you? Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I just had a patio full of kiddos. My son's having friends over tonight,
I know
so
what
it was
doing.
it was chaos. So I was
actually emojis and got yourself branded.
I don't know if Philip's still on here or not, but I got my crown in the mail. Thanks, Philip. It doesn't fit though. It's kind of like my home in Little League. It never fit. So
Matt's croaking again.
Yeah, you got that pig. Don't put your pig up, Matt.
I'm just trying to rub it in Philip's face, just camaraderie. That's all. I'm just teasing him.
I've still got mine from last year. I won the email, honey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They sent me a whole bundle of $100 bills.
Mark, he can't hear it.
$100 bills.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Your pig's running loose again.
Is he?
Yeah, you ain't gonna pin him up.
I know it. It has the tendency to get out.
There he goes.
I thought he was Had a little too much Pepsi or something.
Are you gonna come in? Do you want to wear it? This is
Hello.
this is
Hey,
Hi
kiddo.
there.
one of the queens. This is Kennedy. Okay. And she's out. So yeah. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Tired?
Yeah. I heard I was listening in. I heard you got your clover in. That's good.
Yeah, I got it done. Hopefully it ain't too late and I get a little bit more rain and sunshine.
Yeah. I looked I tried to get a bag of it myself yesterday, but they were sold out.
Yeah. Well, all I did was I mixed crimson and white Dutch.
Okay.
And I figured the crimson, by the time it dies out, the Dutch ought to be turning on. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. Brad, I enjoyed your video earlier today.
Oh,
As
thanks.
always, with that the feeder thing. I've really been toying that around this year with just trying to go with similar type feeding, throughout the entire operation, so to speak. And I completely agree. You say it so well. You just go with the system that you hate the least. They all kind of stink in their own way.
Yeah, yeah. But I think, guys got to try different things to see which one he hates less,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
I don't know that I'll hate the hive top feeders less. I mean, you saw what happened when I tried to just do a quick inspection on that colony, right? The hive top feeder was really a lot more difficult to deal with than the pails were, for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yep. Yep. Those Cells or that kind of style, I always had issues with ants getting into more than anything,
Oh, I
and that the bees, they could find their way into it if something was wrong with the mechanics of the feeder, but ants for the most part were the biggest issue with that.
Yeah,
On
I
on from my
wouldn't say I'm
experience,
devoid of ants here. They're generally not too much of a problem.
that's good.
I did have a few ants I noticed in that little 5-framer that I have, or the 6-frame nuke that I have the Cerasil on. I did notice a few ants around there, but nothing that I was too worried about.
Hmm. Yeah, I always enjoy watching your grace, and how you pull that outside frame and everything's just so precise.
Well,
I
thanks,
know
man.
I've complimented you, but I always pick that up on your videos. The smoothness of it and the lack of banging. I mean, all of that goes a long way when you're going through a hive,
Well,
especially
you
in
got to be
shorts.
careful when you're in short pants and you're sitting right there with the whole hive between
Yeah,
your knees.
yeah, yeah.
Teeth,
Joey's the same way when he goes through a hive too. It's all methodical and smooth, smooth operator.
you start banging things around, they tell you
Still I
what
don't.
pretty fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're all smooth until we're not smooth,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
something. But
Oh yeah, I get chased out once in a while.
He ain't too smooth when the bees get after him. I can tell you that. He moves on out.
no, listen,
Banging.
J
But
JW.
see the
Yeah,
t-shirt?
so
See the t-shirt?
I was without my veil and jacket, and he knew it, and he drove around the whole front of the hive sets, in high gear, and I want to say he may have clipped one hive, and then here he circled the tower, kind of like on Top Gun. Here he's gonna buzz it again, and I'm on the I'm of course on the entrance side. Let's say that. So they got after me. I took off running. It kind of reminded me of Mike Berry and you in that entrance, and you guys are your
I'd
entrance
give
video, and you guys are.
$1,000 if I had that
I
videoed.
My shirt says, "If I run, you run." Right? That's
Yeah,
if you see
yeah,
me running, you know I'm not doing it because I like it.
yeah. That's
Right?
they knew not to sting me, but I tell you, they were bumping me. So if they're bumping me 3 times, the fourth time I'm not going to be standing in the same spot. I can tell you that.
uh, oh well, it's all good for you. It's good for you to help
It
get these
is.
things.
JW just didn't have his phone handy, so
Yeah,
he'll probably try and get me in the same predicament again, so he can take a picture of it. So
I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole that I shouldn't put out on public. But Eddie, I never wear that stuff you used to talk about being hot with your OAV. I OAV just like I'm dressed right here. I have forever since I started. I've got one, but I'm not going to wear them hot things either. That ought to stir up the pro-lifers.
I don't wear
It's a
all that
you know,
stuff.
yeah.
I caught it last year when I was trying to demo those the instant vap that I got. I was trying to demo that and talk about it and show the viewers the thing, and so I was trying to not wear my mask so I could talk and whatnot. And I coughed a couple of times, and boy, I caught it. There were some people gave me this what for, and I even said, I know here's my mask. I normally wear my mask, but I can't talk. I want to talk to you. But no, they just really lit me up in the comments for that.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm probably crawling down a rabbit hole too, to even mention it. But I don't wear that crap. That's made for people that care. So I tell them.
Hey, Matt, did you get your pump going?
No, it's somewhere in the line. Somewhere I actually went and bought another one, so I have a backup. And
Matt,
boy, I tell you that.
You talk about your little pump for your feeder?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You don't clean that every time, you won't be able to keep that going.
Yep, I found that out right when I switched to about
that to you.
Yeah, I found that out. I ran some hot water through it, and when Mark was actually over the other night, and it seemed to really help. But I feel like I hooked up the new pump, and it's doing the same thing. So there's some sort of blockage in that 1/2 inch line to 3/4. I gotta, last year at this time I was bucket feeding with my 4-wheeler, and now I'm taking about 140 hives in the winter, and I've got the IBC tote, and this diaphragm pump is what JW is mentioning. It's a 3.5 gallon per minute, runs on a battery. Pretty slick. A fuel nozzle fill. You almost feel like you're Bob Benny out there sometimes. But when it doesn't work, it's or the flow is about as much as you can get through a McDonald's straw. That's kind of defeating the whole purpose. So, but yeah, cleaning it has helped. It's somewhere in that 1/2 inch to 3/4 line connection, I think.
We tried gravity feeding it, Matt, and it still wouldn't hardly come out.
Mm-hmm. It may be in the gate valve to the 2-inch connection at the the main connection at the tote.
It's got to be right there.
That necks down to from that 2-inch port. That necks down to hose bib 3/4.
Is it 2 to 1?
Yeah, 2-inch to a 3/4 connection, basically.
The syrup, is it 2 to 1 syrup?
No, it's a 1 to 1 right now. About one, almost 1 1/4 at most, but closer to 1 to 1.
When I set mine up, at my tote on, you've seen my video, I have my trailer, I have my tote on my trailer, so it's whatever it's, and I'm 2-inch all the way from the tote. No, that's wrong. It was 1.5 inches. So I had a valve and I had 1.5 inch line to fill my pails. 2 to 1 would hardly, it was so slow trying to fill pails that way.
Wow, even with the Honda?
No, just gravity feed, I'm saying. When I first set it up, and that's what convinced me, well, this is not going to work. I need to put the pump on it. And I mean, even the pump, it'll move it just fine, but it's easy to underestimate how hard it is to move 2 to 1 syrup.
Mm-hmm.
It's thick.
It's really takes a lot of juice to get that stuff to move.
Even with that little diaphragm pump, I mean, I was feeding really thin. If I was feeding them through the dirt, it was with really thin feed, almost 1/2 to 1. I mean, it was thin.
Yeah.
I was pretty cheap and frugal with my sugar. But through that time, the flow of it was almost as good as a garden hose. Almost spoiling. And now, since it's gone to closer to 1 to 1, It's just almost not even cutting the bread anymore. So
Yeah, I would venture to say that that pump would never have a chance of a hope of moving 2 to 1 ever.
Yep. I've
It's a
noticed about at
way.
least a half a
No, you
difference in
can't.
flow.
Yeah,
You won't, Matt.
So
You'll have to, and you'll have
Mark
to, with 1 to 1,
Mark
you played every time.
Yeah, Mark. He actually came into town, and I picked him up. And as soon as I picked him up, I was on my way to feed, so he came with me and helped out. And that I had Mark Miller in my truck in one of my bee yards, and I couldn't even fill a dang bucket.
I
So
mean, dream come true for me.
yeah, I may have played soccer with that bucket. Let's just say that he's gave
Uh,
Mark a little chuckle, but anyway, yeah, that's. I think I need to switch to a gas. Kind of like what you have, kind of actual
it,
trash pump that can handle it.
you know, that pump it's one of those things. That's a pricey piece of kit, but you will smile every time you pull that cord.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just incredible, Yeah, and I kind of played it up on the video how I started that thing, but I mean, I'm pulling the thing sideways from a recoil and sideways with my arm. Like I'm not
yeah,
yanking it with
yeah.
my body, right? I'm just like
That's
that
nice.
because the Honda engine has a decompression, and
I got you fixed up, covered, Matt. When you get out here, don't go in out there and get silly.
Go out half cocked, like you say.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do
Yeah,
have a
that's
smaller one, Matt. They have um, James McNally has the smaller Honda. I think it's a 1 inch, smaller motor and stuff like that too. But and I've not used it, so I can't say if it's the
you'll have
same
to.
as far as how well it starts and whatnot. I think he really likes his, but he did say that it definitely could be bigger.
and you have a 3 inch on yours, you said,
It's a 3 inch.
but
It's
you
the
reduce it
same.
down.
Yeah, I only need a 2 inch, but it went on sale. It was cheaper than the 2 inch, so I bought it. Uh, but it's the same motor as the 2 inch.
Yeah, those Hondas are really nice engines. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
It's hard to beat them little Honda motors.
How have you
Yeah.
got that plumbed up, Brad? For does it go back into your tank when you shut your valve or shut your seal off? You're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
have
There's
to
a there's a
drop
T. It
that
comes
brand
out
new
of the
pump out here, Matt.
pump and then it tees off and it goes up and there's a valve and it'll go up and into the tank to agitate, or the other end of the T it goes out to my serving hose. I've got a 1 inch serving hose. It works pretty good.
You got to have a return on it, Matt. What we're getting at for that
Yep.
bigger pump.
Yep. You're just bringing your feed line off of that return line. Basically, you're recirculating.
You'll be like Mark Miller. You'll be blowing lines.
Yeah, my serving line, it's nice. It's 100 feet. It's nice and long, but it's not pressure rated hose. And I did blow it one time. So I actually put a T on the end of it where the serving line hooks up, and then I reduced that down and put a pressure gauge in there so I could tell, how high did I go before I blew the hose, so I can regulate that with I can regulate it with feathering the recirculation valve and the RPM of the motor. I keep the recirculation turned off because then I don't have to run the motor quite as high. But you can do it either way.
Appreciate that.
Do you feel like you're going to be, especially anything more than 1 to 1, you're going to have trouble with them. Which I'm running one on that little tank too, but you're going to have to clean it every time you use it. But good hot water,
Mm-hmm.
it'll clog up on you.
And the thing with that I had to change in my thinking with when I got my tote, when I started mixing in my tote, is that you have to start with water. Like a lot of times, especially when I was just mixing in a 5-gallon pail with a paint paddle, I could start with sugar. So I could put all my sugar in and then start adding water until my until my level was about the same place, and then I'm pretty well right on 2 to 1. But you can't do that with a tote. You can't put all your sugar in and then start putting water in. It has to be the other way around. So then you have to start doing the math and how much am I going to end up with, and how much sugar do I need, how much water do I need to start with? Because you can put more water in, but you can't put more sugar in if you put it all in.
Right.
Matt, do you know how to do that math?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm actually mixing in 15 or there may be 18-gallon drums, that I keep my sugar spice in. So as I empty those out, I'm using about 5 of those to mix up. So I might be mixing 75 gallons at a time, depending. I try to keep it pretty fresh. So I don't leave it sitting in the tote for a day in the sun if I don't have to.
Right.
So I'm going through it just about as fast as I mix it up. I'm mixing up the night before and feed it that next day, pretty much.
Matt, you
I'm
got
gonna
a
I'm gonna
feedback
see if I can get my feedback off. I'll be right back.
Gotta put the pig inside for the night.
Yeah, go put the pig up.
I guess he knew that he was getting it through his mic, but
It's a little distracting.
tell
It's
him.
very funny, but it's a little distracting.
Ironically, you just talk about that pig too,
Yeah.
Marky was telling you got the pig was loose or whatever, then it started oinking.
I don't know. Is that any better? I don't know.
Yeah,
Nope.
well, you're not quite as oinky as you was.
It oinked there. It did.
Oh boy, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the pig.
Still doing it.
So JW, you were asking about my pump sugar setup there. I showed that just on my video I put out today. So if you haven't watched it and you want to see it, then I
I haven't.
kind
I
of gave
haven't
a
gone.
little. I gave a little tour
Okay,
of what it is.
I'll look at it. Yep, I've got you pegged. So
It's nothing too rocket science, but it just shows what I did.
well, everybody does it a little bit differently. That's the reason I was
Yeah.
asking,
Yeah.
But you're gonna have
And that's
to
fine because you can overthink it all you want, but it's really doesn't need to be rocket science.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rig up I've got a little one and I've got 2 or 3 big totes, but I don't want that much at a time. So I got a 50-gallon one that I'm gonna try to rig up with a 1-inch gear.
Yeah. This tote it does work pretty good mixing smaller batches. However, probably the hardest thing to do is to gauge how much water I put in it. The tote, of course, it has gradations on the side, right?
Mhm.
So I can sort of go by that. But if I'm only wanting to mix up another, 20 gallons of syrup or something like that, then that's a much smaller portion of water they have to start with. So if you've seen Sawmill Charlie's syrup mixing system that he shows, he actually has a little water meter on it. So I bought one of those and it works great.
Yeah.
So I've got an actual filling tube that I've installed in my tote, and I've got this little water meter on the end of it. Yeah, something like that. Well, I think mine's way smaller than that. I think though. It's called a
It may be laying on. Yeah.
Restmo. I just got it at Amazon. It's $25,
Yeah.
and it just tells you exactly how much water you put in there, which is great. Yeah, it's
That's what I
similar.
use.
Yeah, that's similar.
Mine looks just like that.
Save a drop.
It's for watering your garden or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it keeps up with the gallons.
Yeah. And they're like I say, it's $25. So it's I just got a new one because it was on there, and then I picked it up with my tractor and I smashed it with the forks. So it was like, oh well, just have to buy a new one. So mine was $50. $25 stupid fee.
I pulled that same trick, Brad, with the line on the. He's talking about them 250-gallon tanks, totes. I had that full of chemical when I was farming, defoliant chemical. I spilled the whole thing.
No.
Cut the line with the forks on the tractor.
Yikes.
Dumped the whole caboodle. 250-gallon of it.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, and not only that was the chemical was about $200 that I had in there was about $200 a gallon too.
A gallon.
Yeah.
Dude. I thought I was bad when I pumped $600 worth of sugar syrup out on the ground 2 years ago.
I seen that video, or I seen that, or heard you talking about it at least.
My knees were weak. I could hardly stand up when I noticed that. I just couldn't believe what I was looking at. And what a mess. And the next spring, of course it was in the fall, right? So this go through winter, and then the next spring, my whole area, like that's my driveway area by the honey house, by the wood shop. It stank like crazy. You wouldn't believe how it stank.
Yeah,
For
sorry.
like 3 months it stank
Yeah.
until, I guess the bacteria ate it up and it rained away or something. Oh, was it awful.
Why wouldn't the bees have cleaned it up?
They will.
Because it was late in the season when I did. I was feeding in the fall, so it would have been mostly after flight time. And I've spilled syrup a few times on the ground, and I've never noticed the bees going on the ground to clean it up.
You didn't have enough of it soaked in deep,
I've got patches of dead grass in my apiary area from where I've spilled syrup.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that video where Jeff's yard burned.
Y'all, I'm looking for one of them old 3-bay sinks, stainless steel.
I got a double.
I want a 3.
I got a big, big.
You'll have to buy a 3 and a
3-bay
double.
sink.
I'll give you.
I just want a cheap one, I'm going to try to make a clarifier out of it.
Oh, wow. Okay. I got the big one. It's like 12 feet long. It's huge.
Yeah, I don't want a great big one.
Each sink, I think, probably holds about 40 gallons of water.
Yeah, but I can take that down to where I want it, I think, cut it off. Cut the bottom out of one, cut the top out of the other. The sides. If it's made right.
It doesn't have to be stainless, for that high.
Yeah, but they make them stainless to be easier to work with, I guess. I'd have to close the drains with something, but I could have it to where I could open them drains up to wash it out.
That's a lot of welding.
Not
And
really.
Mine, the basins have separate walls, right? So the two basins are, an inch or so apart, and they'll have two walls. So you need to get from one to the other, right?
Yeah. I was thinking they would just, if I could find one, it's just got a single partition.
Just a single wall, yeah, and you could just open it up at the bottom.
At the bottom and then the top on the other side, and then just close my drains up with something, and then drill me a hole over here, put me a spigot in.
You could still do it. All you need to do is just plumb in one or two big fittings in the bottom. You don't need to overthink it. You just need to get the honey from one side to the other at the bottom.
Right.
So just put a tube, just put a big stainless fitting in the bottom, welded on each side, so the honey goes through there.
Yep, that'll work. Just a thought, trying to save a penny.
Well, if you're good at welding stainless, which I wish I was.
I used to be a certified welder, but that was 30-something years ago, though.
You can't have forgotten all of it.
Yeah. I need a little practice.
Unless you get like I got to that point, I'd go to strike an arc, whatever it was, and I'd be off 6 inches, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I always say that I can weld, but if I had to make my living welding, I'd starve to death.
Yeah, I can. I tell them. I always tell them I could. I was a mud dauber nest.
Yeah.
I could weld
Yeah.
a mud dauber nest.
Yeah.
Dirt dauber. I've got something better than a welder. I got a Matthew.
What's that?
Matthew is an old buddy. I can get him to do all that.
Oh.
Know, menial labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I love building things out of wood. You know, I love to be able to build things out of wood and do a nice job and come up with ideas and how to make things and whatnot. But boy, I wish I was a metal fabricator. I really wish I knew how and had the tools, because you definitely need some tools for that. To fabricate.
You could build a clarifier out of wood. You so inclined, could you not, Brad?
I don't guess so. I don't know. Would you build it out of wood?
Huh? It'd be cheaper.
Could you make it out of that melamine that they make kitchen cabinets out of? I guess you could do that. That would be food safe. You seal all the gaps and whatnot.
Would be, well, food safe.
Yeah, that'd be food safe.
No comment on the food safe part of it.
How's my oinking now? Is that any better coming?
Oh, it's alive and well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slowed it down some anyway.
Oh, that's funny. Joey, last time I was on Joey's, you could get such a kick out of that. I didn't know it was happening.
It don't do that with nobody else.
Nope.
You sure that's not Alicia in the background there with a hog call?
It probably is. Yep. So the truth of that is my son, who's 18 now, but he figured out that he could get a glitch in the old Ring camera, to maybe let a girlfriend in or sneak a buddy over later at night, if he just unplug the Wi-Fi. So Alicia had got it installed in the basement. So I think the signal, because the signal's coming up from the basement. So I think I may have to get that rerouted now.
You're getting it again as you're speaking.
That's about a 3-second interval. It's almost regular.
Mm-hmm.
I ought to be able to get me some good shorts out of it and post.
just take the oinks out. Just. Just look at how much fun we're having with it, Matt.
Yeah,
I know it.
Yeah.
I done got used to it.
Yeah, you can almost understand what he's saying now.
Mark, where are you at?
I want to know, Matthew, how many lashes Melissa or Alicia had to give you to get you to stand out there along the street and wave those cars in as they was going by you? Huh?
Yeah, it's kind of funny that she didn't. I don't think she really didn't give me too much trouble. I actually had my bee suit. I've done that before, at other events or whatever, just to, I guess, stir up business. If it gets a little slow, I'll put my bee suit on, and it's funny. There's enough ashes in the smoker where it looks like it's on fire if you puff it a couple times, so.
Well, JW, you ain't got to worry about selling your honey when you got the #1 honey. People are begging for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's having fun with that one. Where's Philip at anyway?
He was here earlier.
He was on there earlier.
I know it. I'm just rubbing it in. Just got lucky. That's all.
Hey, Carl, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, pig ranger. That's right.
Mm.
You got a hawk call in the background.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and shut the chat down. Call it a night. Appreciate everybody over in the chat coming in. They're starting to drop off like flies.
Everybody, that's all, folks.
Yeah. Y'all just hang in there. I'll be right back.
Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.